very, very important need this time is that all the institutions, I think, feel the need for resource material for the parents. Parents used to transfer their panics and their frustrations and their anxiety onto the children.
As early childhood educator, if you have to look back for the last 18 years, what would you say that have been our key learnings and takeaways? And can you also think of any positives or silver linings that has happened in last 18 years?
First of all, in addition to education, the economy, the employment, and the mental health of everyone, I think, are some of the most prominent areas, like affecting each one of us in some or the other way. But when the question posed to me specifically for ECC, so in the area of education, especially ECC, where all young children are there, the learning crisis will further emerge. I think that is beyond repair. There is a threat and a fear of a pandemic is still there, and it is going to stay. But then again, as we say, that it all depends on the home environment. Parents used to transfer their panics and their frustrations and their anxiety onto the children. The most important thing what we need to do is to keep continuously the parents learning, because parents do not know what is developmentally appropriate in terms of early learning. We never thought that we can reach to the teachers and children through alternative academic calendar, through the live telecast. Teachers, especially the Anganwadi workers and the Balwadi workers and the government sector teachers, all became tech savvy. Teachers came up with innovative ways, which how they could explain it to the parents for their children's early learning. And teachers learned to develop videos. All this naturally developed children's 21st century skills, which NEP 2020 is talking about: creativity. So 21st century skills, not only for the children, it's also for the teachers and the teacher
Teachers.
educators. Creativity, communication channels were open. Critical thinking skills, it's not only for the children, it is also for the teachers. And at the end, like to this question, I would say that people along with children learn to adjust, because wearing mask, this itself is a very difficult thing for 3-year-old children and 2-year-old children. So they also learned about to wear a mask, and it built resilience among them. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Currently, all the researches and reports are highlighting the large percentage of learning loss, and some reports are even claiming for learning regression. What are the measures that some of the ways NCERT is contemplating, advocating to address the learning and developmental gaps that have accumulated for children since the pandemic broke out?
NCERT has developed an alternative academic calendar. So that was the major thing what NCERT has done. All the credit goes to all the faculty of NCERT, who has worked and who is still working for PM Vidya and alternative academic calendar to conduct various activities other than which they are already doing, like the e-work. Second thing is Nishtha online training, which NCERT is working on and is still going on. That is a earlier, like in 2019 and the initial time of 2020, we did Nishtha face to face. It is National Initiative for School Heads and Teacher Advancement Program. And then
Right.
immediately after the pandemic, Nishtha online training started going on, so that no state will suffer. So that is the major thing. And third thing is that use of trained teachers uh, as a resource person to conduct online classes to bridge the gaps of two modes, offline and online. NCRT has suggested various kind of a home assignment to the teachers, to the teacher educators, and as well as to the children, like which can be given to the children directly, such as use of household materials and use of immediately found objects and materials to further strengthen the 21st century skills, inquiry skills, hands-on activities and hands-on experiences, and focusing on foundational literacy and numeracy, because during this time we were also working on NEP 2020 and how to bring the idea of NEP 2020 to the ground and for the grassroots level. NCRT has also come up with guidelines for 3-month preparation module, that is, in a very, very simple term, I will say that guidelines for school readiness. Mission guidelines for FLN, that is Nipun. NCRT faculty
Right.
has written the first part or the first section of that Nipun guidelines, and where all the academic contribution is there, and the competencies and the learning outcomes are also aligned with the mm, with like across the preschool till class 3.
NEP 2020 has again thrown light on foundational literacy and numeracy. You have been one of the core team members advocating its importance. What are your key recommendations for our schools, especially the government schools, to some of the ways the education department and school system can ensure better FLN levels?
The FLN needs to be connected with the children's holistic development. My only fear is this, that when we are talking about FLN, it doesn't mean at all that other domains of child development are not looked into. And it is beautifully recommended in NEP 2020 also that preschool is a part of your foundational stage. तो वो readiness activities को बाल वाटिका 1 से बेसिक से लेते हुए आप ग्रेजुअली एडवांस में चाहिए, जिससे whatever NEP 2020 is talking about, that when the child will reach it class 3, the child can read all these things, and the child we can it become easier for us to reach to the SDG goal 4.2. तो आप 2030 तक बहुत आसानी से वहां तक पहुंच सकते हैं, and this is possible only when we'll see the FLN in continuum. And very, very important need this time is that all the institutions, I think, feel the need for resource material for the parents. Parents also need some good quick resource material, and if your parents are semi-literate or illiterate, you should also come up with material for semi-literate and illiterate parents, where you will focus more on images. So strengthening the in-service teacher training is, first of all, now I think every one of us understand how important is developmentally appropriate technology, and technology is not going to go anywhere. Now it is going to stay. So we shouldn't think that online will go away. Even if the normalcy comes, it is going to stay, and it is a very good thing. So teachers need one thing, a very, very important thing, is orientation and training on developmentally appropriate technology across the foundational stage. अभी तक तो जैसे भी काम चल रहा था, but now it needs to be focused, developmentally appropriate technology, training. So that is very important. Although teachers learned about how to make the videos, but now how to make the podcast, can we use some audios? Storytelling can be done beautifully. The pre-storytelling activities, the post-storytelling activities can be ब्यूटिफुली डन थ्रू ऑडियो. निपुण FLN ने इसकी बात करी है. तो आपकी इन सर्विस ट्रेनिंग में ये फोकस होना चाहिए, हाउ टू डेवलप होलिस्टिक प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट कार्ड, होलिस्टिक प्रोग्रेस कार्ड, राइट? Where it talks about self-assessment, peer assessment, teacher assessment, how to do assessment through online, bridge material on readiness package when the school will reopen. When suppose I'm a child, I'm coming back to class 1, so आप direct आप class 1 की activity नहीं कराना शुरू कर दोगे. And orientation in foundation literacy and numeracy, Tech Mahindra has to give some kind of a teacher training on foundation literacy and numeracy. Of course, the Honorable Prime Minister is talking about toy-based pedagogy. So Tech Mahindra should also think about how it can orient the teachers in use of toy-based pedagogy, integrating foundational literacy and numeracy, right? And special training on storytelling.
All these things we've noted, and in the end, I just wanted to highlight, if you can, just give in a very briefly, what would you want to highlight for organization like us that works in social sector, and also to for some of the practices and approaches that can be used for at the grassroots level, because as you are saying that teachers, they don't have bandwidth to understand bigger frameworks and policies. They just need to implement things at the grassroots level. So what are just key highlights and takeaways if you want to highlight before we can close this?
You need to focus more on need of extension of curriculum from structure to holistic and more skill based. So that is one thing. Learning at home, parent education and involvement is must in curriculum development, learning and continuous assessment. Second, and teaching, of course, through stress-free manner, teaching through toy-based pedagogy, integrating FLN, and focusing on do it yourself. Rather, everything the teachers are doing, do it yourself, that is DIY, need to be focused, and using the low cost and no cost materials, and inculcating the 21st century skill, environment friendly activities, focus on experiential learning. Training is required on experiential learning, connecting with themes and in continuum, more practical, and then followed by abstract worksheets. E-learning is going to stay, so keep working for e-learning. Go beyond the textbooks and create your own preschool center story. Essential FLN implementation checklist. That is very, very important, so that it will also cover the monitoring and the evaluation. Focus more on blog post, podcast, and webinars. Do not ignore the under 3s children, so that you can focus more on early stimulation and bring developmentally appropriate technology. Create also weekly activity skill chart wherever your resources dashboard is there or portal is there. And the last, I'll just touch about that, boost awareness on toy-based pedagogy and FLN with the teachers, with the children, and with the parents. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Romila ma'am. I think you captured the essence of the problem, and I can clearly see some 15 principles. If we follow these, I think we'll be able to implement the foundation literacy levels to a greater level.